Hello and welcome. It's another Empire of the Podcast. It's another Empire of the Cup podcast, and the gang is here together. I'm flabbergasted because I've not seen these lovely faces for so long. Pleased to see a bit more of you more regularly, of course. But the lads below, we've got Steve Carson and, of course, the lovely Rick Elliott of Flashscore joining us here today, and our very own Peter Kenny Jones of Empire of the Cup. I will be your host, Farrell Keeling. We're here today to play the Transfer Committee game, courtesy of the Anfield Wraps Transfer Committee game. We're here. We're involved. We're going to make a few risks, potentially. I don't know. How are we feeling, chaps, about this one?
Nervous. I don't know what's going on.
I live in a permanent state of I don't know what's going on, so...
There's going to be some horrendous decisions because there simply has to be one point or another.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, we're all very qualified to be making these decisions on behalf of Liverpool Football Club, I'm sure. Rick's casting a doubtful...
We stole Van Dijk last time, so...
And I think, of course, he went on to have one hell of a 2023-24 season. So, take our suggestions with a pinch of salt, perhaps, viewers. We're just going to quickly run through the rules. So, as it stands, of course, you have £82 million to spend. The current wages to turnover, we can ignore that. Basically, we're in on 188 units of salary. We cannot go beyond 205 units of salary. Some players you can sign would earn more than Salah or Trent in wages. We have to make a case and justify any potential player we buy that might undermine our wage structure in place at Liverpool Football Club. I think that's pretty much the basis of the rules in question. I'm just going to get the lovely little snapshots courtesy of Rick in place. So there we go. I believe I've got the right one. So first order of business, chaps. Do we extend Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract at Liverpool?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. That was easy.
Yeah,
I think that one's straightforward there.
I think the caveat on that one is that he wants the same salary as Salah.
That's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so that is a small caveat there. So if we do say yes, he goes on parity with Salah with 12 units, which leaves us with 192 units of salary, 13 spare to 205. If not, we still have 188 units worth. Well, we're on 188 units worth of salary out of 205. What are our thoughts on this one?
Do it.
Do it. Yeah.
I
think we're all doing it there. Yeah, makes sense.
Before we fight on someone else, let's just be happy with agreeing.
Excellent stuff. Lovely. Okay, so that's 13 wage units spare. Next order of business, Virgil van Dijk. Do we extend his salary? If yes, it's the same exact wage as he's on now. I'd be inclined to say yes.
Yeah, we'll start off with a yes, won't we?
This is brilliant. We're all agreeing. This is fantastic.
Easy ones to start us off here. Trent and Virg.
Yeah. It's going to get slowly more complicated as we go. Right. So an interesting one, of course, because we've seen plenty of reports on the matter. Mainz are said to be interested in making Sepp Vandenberg's stay in the Bundesliga permanent. He's obviously been on a loan spell for the prior season. He's enjoyed a very good season by all accounts in the German top flight. Now, according to the rules of the game, we can sell him to Mainz, I believe, for £5 million. If so, our spend goes up to £87 million and the wage unit goes down by 1. What are our thoughts?
We're probably going to be after a centre half, aren't we? It's just a case where we after someone maybe better than Van den Berg. Probably.
Yeah, he's a hard one to fit, isn't he? Because I don't think he necessarily fits what we're looking for from a Liverpool sort of centre back. He's obviously still quite young, isn't he? I think he's 20. I want to say 23 or 22.
Something like that, yeah.
Something around that sort of ballpark. But I'm a bit not sure where to place him really, because I don't think he has the kind of aerial numbers you'd want to see from a left-sided Liverpool centre-back. But then I think his passing statistics are somewhat weak as well. So I'm not sure that goes in his favour really.
For me, I think he's best keeping him if it was on me. Obviously, I don't think in real life he will stay because he's clearly not happy with us putting a high price on his head, and he obviously wants to go and play first team football, which is good. But I think if we were linked with some Dutch defender who's dead quick in the Bundesliga from Mainz, and we could get him, we'd all be saying that sounds like a decent signing, get him in. He's already there. You're not really getting much for selling him. I think we need another centre-back. I'm happy for him to be fourth choice behind Van Dijk, Kanate and Quanta for next season. And you can always see by January if it's working with him as fourth, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we were at, I think last year we were looking at Van de Ven, who's gone on to have quite, a good season with Spurs. And I think, Van den Berg could be cut from a similar cloth, to a lesser degree. So, I don't feel that strongly about this one, to be honest with you. I quite like Van den Berg. And I don't think he is going to save us a fortune if we get rid of him, So could be easy enough to just put this one to one side for now and just say, yeah, keep him for now.
I'd agree. I'd probably put him to one side, and then if we need to make $5 million isn't an awful lot, but if we do need $5 million out of nowhere, then it's an easy get rid for me. But I just don't think what he's shown in the Bundesliga is it doesn't really fill me with much confidence. Like that, you could probably bring him into the fold and expect much out of him on a week-to-week basis, or even just sort of as a rotational. I think if we brought him into the fold, it'd probably be in the cups in the early stages, and just sort of see how it goes from there. Whether
the question is, does he even get in as a rotational option? If you look at sort of the right side, you've got Quanta, who's had a pretty good season by all accounts. Kanate, injury prone as he is still our sort of best right-sided centre-half option. In terms of what Liverpool are looking for, really, I mean, obviously with Matip going, we could probably use a new right-sided centre-half, but you wouldn't look at Van den Berg as a long-term Van Dijk replacement on the left side. So, but yeah, I'm happy to put him to one side for now. Joe Gomez again. Joe Gomez is a difficult one, though, isn't he? Because he spent much of the season effectively playing as a auxiliary sort of fullback.
Yeah, definitely. But if it comes on and he's a load of rubbish in his first few games, you can easily just have Gomez as your fourth choice centre back while still being back up left back and back up right back and the number 6 like he did last year. He can still play everywhere, can't he? So I don't. Yeah. Sorry, cool.
No, it's a good point. Swiss Army knife, Joe Gomez. Well, I mean, it sounds like we're leaning towards keeping him for now, seeing how we get on.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely stuff. So as things stand, we have 13 salary units left in play. Our transfer budget remains at £82 million. We're now on to the next order of business. I believe, Rick, correct me if I'm wrong, are we on a Salah dice roll?
Yes. Although you might want to scroll up on the the doc. That old chestnut.
That little chestnut. There we go. Righty-ho. So just to illustrate then, if we get a 1 to 3 dice roll, he signs a new deal at the same rate of wage units, 4 or 5. There's an offer from a European giant at £35 million, but he's running down his deal through to the next summer window. If it's option number 6, he gets an offer of £83 million from a Saudi club that he will take that summer. Right then, put a dice roll. We don't know. There's not a dice roll attached to this, is there?
No.
Oh,
I've got one on the old phone. We're ready for this. I've got one on the old phone. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is very professional, this. Oh, it's option number 1. Don't know if that's coming through on the phone. It's option number... You're going to have to just trust me. It's option number 1. So it's a new deal. It's a new deal for Mo Salah at the same rate. So he remains at 12 wage units. Mo Salah, signs a new contract for Liverpool Football Club without greater expense in the immediate future. What do we think?
Yeah, you take that. That's happy days, that is.
Isn't it? Excellent stuff. Out of curiosity, would anyone have sold him for £83 million? A Saudi bid comes through for £83 million. Would anyone have taken that?
Not in real life, I don't think so. But in the terms of the game, you have to see what happens, later on. But obviously, that's not what's happened. So doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Excellent. Well, we're all agreeing it. This is fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I think this is how all club hierarchies work. I think they just sit around and agree all the time. And that's what it is.
Right, I've had an idea. Let's sell Van Dijk.
Oh, excellent.
Don't use it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, now that those priority orders of business have been taken care of, chaps, I believe. Are we on to now sort of deciding who we're selling and who we're keeping more broadly?
There's still more dice rolls.
Is there still what, sorry?
More dice rolls.
Oh, yeah, we could do more dice rolls. Is this on, let's see.
The top, those.
There we go. More dice rolls. Okay, very well. Now, the thing I don't understand with Alisson is it literally 1 to 6 in terms of transfer units?
Yeah. You roll the dice, see what the figure is that it spits out for the price, and then you can go, well, we've had an offer for him for this much. Is it really worth selling him? Okay,
excellent. I'll just roll the dice then. All right, so for Alisson, we have 2.
2 million.
No, so the dice roll is 2, so he gets 41 million bid.
2 mil. That'd be a bold move, wouldn't it?
Do you imagine? Christ.
Again, isn't it?
Tranmere Rovers making a bid.
Cheaper
than 40 mil.
Yeah.
Move on.
I mean, we're keeping him, aren't we? That's not even worth dignifying with a discussion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very well, then. We are keeping him. All right, then. For Kevin Kelleher, we have 5.
What's that?
19.
So should we bid off at 19 mil? Do we accept it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not, unless he's pushing for an exit.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't sell it.
Hear me out. I think we put him in the same basket as Sepp Vandenberg. Put him to one side, see what situation we're in, and then take it from there.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
It'd be hard pressed to find a better keeper than that for 19 mil, though. That's the thing. But
yeah.
But yeah, we can put him on ice and just say no later. But that's fine.
There categorically isn't a better second choice keeper in world football. I mean, Jurgen certainly seemed convinced about that. I mean, I'm inclined to go with Jurgen, but we'll put him into that little basket we've got in the side with Sepp in it. There we go. He's got a mate he can talk to for the rest of the chat. That's something. So Ibu Konate then. We roll the dice, and it's number 4.
41.
I think it's the same as Ali, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Keep him. No,
it's so easy.
Oh, sorry, Pete.
This is so easy.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the complexity.
We should do this for the West team, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, and for Kostas Tsimikas, we've got number 2.
14 mil.
Been lowballed on him. It's the same as Kelleher, and you're not going to probably get a better backup left back for 14 mil.
Yeah. I think maybe I'd be more inclined to say put him on ice and see, because we've got Gomez who can play there and all that. But yeah,
in the basket.
If it was one higher, he could have. Yeah.
Yeah, he's another one of those players on that unfortunate shortlist, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets binned if we need to bring somebody in.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's Vandenberg, Kelleher, and Tsimikas in the basket. And on the next dice roll, we've got 3 for Tyler Morton.
Oh.
4 million.
4 million.
Oh.
No, not for that again. because we don't know what slot's going to play. He might play 2 number 6s. We haven't really got that many who play there at the moment. It's just Endo, Bajcetic, and then probably Tyler Morton's the next most suitable deep end midfielder.
Yeah.
And he did a bit.
Yeah.
4 mil. It's not worth him going to Swansea and getting Championship Player of the Year, getting promoted. I think I'd rather see double figures before I thought about it a bit more. That's just me.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, if we'd have rolled 6 there, maybe it's something to talk about. But
where are these sixes? I'm blaming the dice app.
Yeah, I do apologize. This is a horrendous. The only thing with Tyler Moore and the only thing with the playing the two, I mean, he'd be going for a double pivot, wouldn't he? So it'd be more of a probably offensive-minded sort of deep-lying midfielder. Sort of be Maka and then you're holding 6, be it Endo, Bajcetic, or whoever Liverpool may or may not bring in during the window. I don't know necessarily if we play with 2 totally defensively minded midfielders in that sort of pivot.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if Morton would even get the game time. That's my only concern.
We'll have to see who we bring in.
Just think again for 4 mil. What are you gonna get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, what really doesn't help for all this, and no offense to everyone, we have no idea what team we're playing next year, do we? So we could have 9 number 6s playing, and then that was the case, then he definitely has to stay, doesn't he? So at the moment, we assume we'll need at least 1 holes in mid who can play there with a bit of backup. And Bajcetic injury record isn't great as in, and Thiago's gone. So, if you're just looking at Endo, then maybe having a Morton as well adds a bit of cover.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, then, very well. We're moving on to Fabio Carvalho, and we finally got a 6 for Fabio Carvalho.
Hey, 28.
Oh, 28. Now, I'd quite like to see Carvalho stay. I know that's a reasonable offer, but I have suspicions that Slot will quite like the look of him.
So, do we want to? Are we ready for in the know ITK Rick here, or are we just?
We're absolutely ready for in the know ITK Rick here.
So what I've heard from someone close to the player is that his grievances were with Klopp and not with anyone else at the club. So with Klopp now out of the picture, he'd be more, welcome to sort of prove himself at the club. It's not as if he wants out and will get out at any opportunity. It's more he just something went wrong with Klopp. That's what I've heard. Hands up. I'm not, not saying it's 100%. I won't bet my house on it, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
interesting.
Well, real life, that makes sense. But again, 28 mil, and if we're assuming one attacker mid, the amount of options we've got there, like Curtis Jones, Elliott, Szoboszlai, whatever, the minutes Carvalho is going to play, I think if you get 28 mil, if he spends a season not playing for us, that only gets half next summer or even in January if we don't play him. So I'd be inclined to say take that, just because it's such a high offer.
And just looking at the players as well, like at what point are we going to sell somebody if not now? Because if you're looking ahead at the other players, I'm not really too sure we're going to consider those. So it's a case of it's a good offer for Fabio Carvalho. We've done okay without him. He's a good little player, but I think for the purposes of the game, I'd be tempted to just.
I'm still tempted to say put him in the basket for now.
We can put him in the basket. It's a big basket, but we can put him in there.
A lot of people.
I mean, he's versatile enough, though, isn't he? You wouldn't just sort of box him off as the number 10. I mean, again, we don't know how Slot's going to play. We don't know if it's going to be like a 4-2-3-1. But, you can theoretically play in the forward line. He can play as your attacking midfielder. I mean, probably a stretch to say he could play in the pivot. But we know at least he can play in those 2 roles. So, straight in the basket with Fabio Carvalho. Another moment when we need the cash and I get excited by a fun player. Right then, so we're on to Diogo Jota, and the dice roll says
He's staying.
1.
Nah, he's going nowhere. Oh, it's a good offer though. What would 6 have been?
Oh yeah.
Curiosity 6, it would have been 77.
There's a conversation to be had there.
I think there is. Right.
Maybe.
No.
Right. Okay.
Not a
Serious question, lads. If you're looking at the current sort of options we have in the forward line, and you're thinking we probably do need to bring in a forward, it's probably going to mean someone's pushed out the door. Who's your weakest option? So you've got Darwin Nunez, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota. There's your 5 options. Who is the weakest option in that bunch?
I wouldn't say weakest, but if I had to sell one of them, I'd say Luis Diaz.
Between him and Gakpo.
Yeah, just because
this is a high bar.
He has his age. Like, I just think he's not going to get any better. He's a really, really good player, but I think, that goals and assists, he's just not quite there. So he could get more. I don't think he's going to go on leaps and bounds. So if I had to sell one, I'd sell him, but I'm very happy for him to stay.
There's a lot of chat about him in Barcelona as well, and you wonder maybe, like, is his head turned ever so slightly? If they put a bid in, is he going to pick up a force? So, yeah. But it depends on how much money we could get for Diaz in this game as well, I think. But
Diaz will give you 62 million.
I'd be more inclined to do that than Jota at 48. And that's not anything against Diaz. It's just the game we're playing.
Can I throw a curveball into the mix?
Please do.
But it was pointed out on the Anfield Wraps transfer committee show that Jota went a whole year without really scoring, and he only really makes an impact when he's coming off the bench. Like he's not the kind of player that you want. He's proper like an impact player of sorts. So, I mean, yeah, you're not getting an awful lot for him in this, but at least Diaz makes more of a case for getting goals when you use him as a starter.
Who got more goals, Diaz or Jota last season? I know it's not the fairest comparison, but sure.
Yeah.
We can check for you, courtesy of Transfer Market.
Pretty sure I think Jota had the best goals per minute ratio of any Liverpool player last season, if I'm right as well.
So yes. Diogo Jota got 15 goals in 32 appearances across all competitions. I'm pretty sure Diaz got something like 11 goals across all competitions, I want to say. I'm just having a little check now. 13 goals across all competitions for Luis Diaz. And in a lot more games, I should say, in 51 games. So again, I'm with Pete. I have to say, I like Diaz as a player, but I strongly suspect we've probably seen the best of him in the Liverpool shirt. I'm not sure. Does he go up another level?
I can't see him going up another level. I think maybe more of the same, but maybe not another level. There was, to give him some credit, his dad was kidnapped halfway through the season. So that's a stat which doesn't really show up on any, spreadsheet.
He's playing better then.
Well, yeah.
Oh dear.
Just a fact, a Luton game. I apologise, mate. Move on.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Should we sell him then?
Diaz.
Yeah.
I think compared those two, I don't think Gakpo's in that conversation actually with those two at that point.
Yeah,
and you got to sell somebody in this game.
Room to grow as well, and I think with Gakpo, like there is a chance he kicks on and gets much better and all that, isn't it? I think Klopp, he took the blame for him not playing that well because he tried to make it a midfielder in the summer and kind of robbed his pre-season off him, didn't he? So we trust him. But yeah, if we're going to sell people, I'd be selling, of all those offers and everything we've had, I'd sell Carvalho, and if we're going to do something, Diaz, just to make it more exciting for the ends.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to just keep everybody and go, sound, love the squad. See you next year.
In that case, should we just put Carvalho in the sell pile? Just so we've got a more realistic look at what we've got to sell or what we're budgeting with when it comes to the ins.
Yeah. Is there anyone else we need to go through or anything? Or
no, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say
Rick, is it adjusted on the transfer budget? Oh, there we go. Has it now?
It's gone up on it.
Well, yeah.
No, has Diaz's figure gone through?
Please bear with. Hold up.
It's actually like deadline day. It's like the hail all over again.
Odds and Wingy outside QPR.
Diaz is outside Camp Nou. Wonder why no one's let him in.
Rapping outside in his car.
Definitely.
The sheet's gone down. It's all gone wrong here.
Oh, no.
You got a quick look at my messy calculation.
What do we think of Luis Diaz's rapping while Rick does the spreadsheet? I thought it was really good.
You know,
it was all right.
It's one of those things. It's not for me, but he looked like he's having a good time, and it didn't sound bad. I mean, if I tried to do what he did, it'd sound terrible. So, fair play to him.
Sounded auto-tuned out of nothing, but yeah, I'd.
You need to be doing the sheet. We're filling because your sheet's broken. It's too far. All right, carry on then. Sorry.
There we go. The problem has been rectified thanks to Rick's technical genius. We are back up to £172 million in transfer budget. And we have 25 spare remaining salary units, thanks to the sales of Fabio Carvalho and, of course, Luis Diaz. Right then, chaps. Rick, I believe there's been some breaking news. I believe. Dare I say, there has been some breaking news. And I believe the dice roll has confirmed number 4. Uh-oh. Chaps, I'm very sorry to say, but Alexis McAllister has broken his leg during the Copa America, and he's going to be out of action for much of the 2024-25 season. Liverpool need to find a replacement, and there's an extra catch, because everyone knows Mac is out injured. Every single midfielder Liverpool could buy has just gone up in price by £5 million. What do we do?
Resign, maybe. I don't know what to do for me.
Bobby.
I'm not sure if this is an improvement necessarily on last year. We sold Van Dijk, and somehow we've wound up breaking Alexis McAllister's leg the year after.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah. We'll have to get that market, aren't we?
Yeah, who's in the ends?
All right,
he was our sort of, he's backup for that defensive mid, I guess. He was in that collection.
Yeah.
Salamon's getting again now, isn't he?
I think we get Salamon. Defensive mid.
We're going to briefly touch on some of the midfield ins before we decide on the rest of our outgoings at the club. So the ins, we have Yunus Musa, Kotsu, Florentino Luis, Manuel Ugarte, Bruno Guimaraes, Martin Zubimendi, Carlos Baleba, Hugo Larsson, Job Bellingham, Nicolo Barrea, who I believe is close to, if not having signed a new contract at Inter, I want to say, with Lautaro Martinez, Federico Valverde, Alan Varela, João Neves, Oliver Alblaster, bloody hell, Aurelian Tchouameni, Mats Wiefer, Jacob Ramsey, Jordi Sudakov, João Palhinha, Ederson, Chris Rick, Toon Coke Miners, Joshua Kimmich, Manu Kone, Kefren Turam, Oscar Glock, Alex Bainer, and Lucas Sukic. We do have some more attacking midfield.
Put a beat behind that, and you've basically got that Luis Diaz rap.
Excellent stuff. Right, well, what are we thinking? Because the point was obviously well made that Maka was effectively filling the holding midfield role for a significant portion of the season. He would most certainly have played in a double pivot if that's what Arne Slot goes for. So we do Is it fair to say we do need a somewhat versatile midfielder?
I'm drawn to Florentino Luis. I know we've been interested in him before, haven't we? He's second or third down.
There we. Oh yes, there he is. Florentino Luis.
He's quite versatile.
To be honest,
59 million quid.
Okay.
He's a bit of a steep one, but I mean, if McAllister breaks his leg, we might break the bank. You know what I mean?
How old is he? Because
The big bucks.
He's 24 years of age. I could be wrong.
I'd say based on that, get him, because let's think about this. If you've got Endo, who isn't exactly a spring chicken, it wasn't exactly a spring chicken when we bought him. He's going to need phasing out at some point, and training a younger replacement. So I would be willing to take the hit and go, right, all right, we can sort of ease him in. Crisis mode is required at the moment, so get him in. Yeah, it's a bit, you're paying over the odds, but you don't really have a choice.
Do we think he's of the level?
He's a big midfielder anyway. I reckon break the bank with Freddie Valverde. 36 mil, I wouldn't mind spending that because it's a big name. Or even a Bruno Guimaraes, if that's how you say his name. I think Premier League experience. I think we need the midfielder with McAllister going. I think you may as well play it safe, get a big signing, get the shirt sales, get slot a big.
The benefits of Bruno as well is that we weaken a quote unquote rival. You know, Newcastle had a bad season, but I mean, they are going to be sort of up there, especially in the next few years. Bruno's probably their best player, so yeah, maybe I like that a bit more than Luis actually.
I do like kind of Guimaraes. Right age as well, 26.
The thing is, though, you don't want to get someone who's too nailed on in that spot, because then you're restricting Bajcetic's path.
Well, I suppose the thing is about Guimaraes, you can't really nail him down as a number 6, can you? Because it has been sort of used a bit more sort of variably by Newcastle. I mean, he's not really a number 6. He's not a pure number 6. He's not a pure number 8. He kind of, I don't want to say he's that sort of all-action midfielder, but I think potentially if you were to sort of say, well, we want Bajcetic to grow into that role, you could reasonably, I don't know, I think it would fit in a pivot, Guimaraes, if you were to hypothetically leave the role open for Bajcetic moving forward. Just going to cost a lot of money.
I think the only worry is, I'm happy to, well, to be fair, we get him, you've still got 72 mil left, and you've got how many salary units? Maths is better than mine.
What about 3 lads in the basket as well?
Yeah, well,
you have 13 salary units left.
I've just selected him in for now. So yeah, 72 mil to play with. 192.
What do those salary units look like in the forward line? Because if we've got rid of Diaz, we're going to need to get another striker. So what?
Another,
would that just leave us too short? Or
you've got just about enough.
But if we're going to buy another striker,
yeah, it's just that the if you're going for another forward, it depends on what the price is going to be pretty steep. So you're not going to really get much for your money with the 72 mil, really.
Ooh, Joshua Zerchi. Nice.
I mean, yeah, we could go for him.
United want him.
Oh, that Bakayoko, he's quite good, isn't he?
Bakayoko, yeah, he's good. Isn't Bakayoko right-sided, though? Problem is, we're looking at left-sided forwards. We're looking at the likes of Anthony Gordon, but is it Mbomo's right-sided, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chance that you can't have a right side of one guy because put Salah through the middle. There was enough talks of that possibly happening. Salah goes through the middle or in the number 10 thing.
Unless you push. Well, the thing is as well, if you look at technically, you could push Nunez out left. Cody Gakpo's best position. Technically, it's out left. You get rid of Diaz, that frees the space open for Slot's fellow Dutchman. So theoretically, you could just shunt people along and then just create a vacancy on the right side, and then that's perfect for someone like Bakayoko, who is, how much is he going to cost us? Johan Bakayoko would cost us 48 million. So we could afford him and his salary.
Yeah. Okay, sorted. Game over. See you next time.
And that's all for us tonight here at the Empire of the Cup podcast. Done and dusted. Who needs Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes?
Yeah, but look, yeah, I like both of those, but I feel like I suggested both of them, so I'm happy for counter arguments or whatever. But are we that much better off selling Diaz and getting Bakayoko in? I don't know. But
I think there's more to come from Gakpo on the left side. I think we've seen. I think I'll stick my neck out. I think we've seen the best of Diaz. I think there's technically more to come from Gakpo on the left. I'd be more. The thing is, as well, we're going to have to answer the question of realistically where we see Salah going forward, because we know Slot likes his wingers. I'm not 100% certain he'd be done with Salah on the right side, but I think he'd be tempted to see fresher legs. Maybe not to disparage Salah's physical state, but younger legs might be the more appropriate term to say on the right hand side. I don't know if you disagree or agree on that point.
I think he's not going to play every second of every game, is he? That's well, you can. If we're playing 2 games a week, Salah plays 90 minutes in one and plays an hour in the other. And even doing that every week is going to be a big ask, and you'd expect that whoever it is can play there, and they've got to be versatile to play in other positions as well, haven't they? So, and we know what the injury are like. So.
My worry with Bakayoko is that he has no real experience outside of the Dutch league. He's got some Champions League experience, but it's a goal and an assist in eight appearances in the Champions League group stage onwards. 4 assists, 4 appearances in the qualifiers. For Belgium, he's got a goal in 12 appearances. We've seen players sort of struggle to come out of the Dutch league into the Premier League. That's my only worry, is like, can he do it on a rainy night in Stoke? That whole metaphor. Although why he would be going to Stoke at this point, it's
Carabao Cup.
Carabao, yeah,
that's what it's about.
May I suggest an alternative?
No.
How would we feel about someone like? It's done. It's decided. How would we feel about someone with Premier League experience? Say West Ham's Mohamed Kudus.
Is he on there?
I feel very strongly about Mohamed Kudus.
He is on there.
Where is he?
He's in the attack from mid forward.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I'd get him. Sorry, I was very excited there. Could we afford him?
Yeah. we could. I mean, we know he's good. I think he's had pretty much an identical season in terms of numbers in his first season in the Premier League. Same amount of goals this season as he registered for Ajax last year. If you take into account, of course, he was playing for David Moyes' West Ham. You take into account he'll be moving into a better squad at Liverpool. His numbers are still brilliant, even though he's moved to a different league. Going to cost more than Bakayoko, but probably guarantees you a bit more security, a bit more sort of belief that he's going to deliver.
And if you got rid of Sepp Vandenberg or one of those that sort of on the periphery in the basket, we can clear out the basket, guys.
Bring him out of the basket.
Is Nat Phillips 3 mil? Am I right in saying that? If we sell him, we get to 3 mil.
Let's have a look, shall we?
Yes.
Big Nathaniel.
It's about time. Sorry, Nat.
I mean, he's gone, isn't he? He's gone.
He's still not going to be there, is he? That gets you 3 mil back. They are.
We broke
Should
even.
we? I'm just thinking before we make any further decisions. Should we decide on how we're feeling about some of the keepers and the defenders on the list, just to give us a bit more breathing room with the budget?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that?
Lovely.
Let's do it, yeah.
Right. Okay. So Adrian Pitaluga and Harvey Davies. What are we thinking?
Adrian is only going to save us 2 units wage. We've got 5 in the bag.
Yeah,
he's not going to
I would get rid of Pitaluga for 4 because I saw some of his highlights for that St. Pat's and he didn't look the best. I don't know if he's actually going to be a goalkeeper. So I think an offer of 4 when we're getting like 5 for Tyler Morton, who's had 2 seasons in the Championship, that Pitaluga could fall off a cliff quite quickly. He isn't shone in Ireland. I reckon 4 would be quite a good offer.
True enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What about Calvin Ramsey? Not goalkeeper, but I'm just seeing his name for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
We've already loaned him out in real life, haven't we? But I think he's had a lot of injuries, hasn't he? I think he's hardly played. I think it's likely that he's not going to have a career with us, but the club have already decided to loan him to Wigan, so I feel like maybe give him another chance. But
you think with Conor Bradley coming through, though, it's just be hesitant to write off a young player, but
yeah.
Owen Beck it seems like a good shout, to be fair.
Yeah, just it's that 6 there. It seems quite high for. I mean, Beck, good little young player, but
you've got to worry.
Calvin Ramsey's 4, he's 6.
Yeah.
If anyone.
So are we thinking sell Ramsey and Beck?
Huh? Ramsey.
Ramsey and Beck?
We could do.
Seems very FIFA career modes. First thing you do, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What about?
That is a massive offer for Beck over 6. To be fair,
seeing as we're going full FIFA career mode, Reece Williams. It's not an awful lot, but he's
not going to play, is he? Yeah. So
nah.
Yeah.
May as well.
Are we selling Sepp then, or are we bringing him out of the basket and selling him?
I still always say keep Sepp, but
let's get rid of the whole back line. Just get rid of start again.
The right backs we've got Conor Bradley, Trent, Gomez. Left backs we've got Robbo, Tsimikas, Gomez.
Luke Chambers.
That's fine. You've still got Luke Chambers in there, so I reckon, yeah. But as much as I don't really agree with it in real life, but for now, we may as well take the 6 mil and get Owen back out as well.
Yeah. If we shifted all these in one window, I'd be panicking. But it's a game.
Williams isn't going to play it either, so it's free money, really, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we're the recruitment chiefs, chaps. So we've got to be a little bit ruthless about these. We love them in reality, but this no hard feelings, I'm sure.
I think that's enough for the defence club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on to the midfielders. So we can sell. Let's see. We can sell.
Get rid of Alexis. He's got a broken leg.
Yeah, I'd keep all those midfielders and attacking lines from there. I think that's a bit
thin other than the start 11.
No, I'll be happy with that. Yeah. Any objections, Rick? Or you happy to continue?
I'm just looking at okay, hear me out.
We're
having a wild ride here. Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
It's
no
43 million. It's a good chunk for a player who He's good. He's getting there, but I don't think he'll be, the top player that we need if we are wanting to, compete for titles against the likes of City, who have got a bench that is just ridiculous. Now, as a squad player, can't fault him. But I just don't see him being like a superstar. I think it's a similar sort of thing as Diaz in my eyes. Similar sort of I think we've seen his peak of what he can bring to the table. Personally, but
I think I wouldn't do it in real life, but 43 is quite high for Curtis Jones. I'm looking at Bajcetic at 11. But 43 is quite. I think if you could find a better midfielder for 50 or 60 on the ins, I think it's probably worth it. But for the purposes of the game, in real life, I don't think Toxic Iniesta is going anywhere.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I will. If it turned out tomorrow that we were selling him, I'd be like, ugh! But I mean, yeah, like you say, the purposes of the game.
Yeah,
my thoughts, like I've just said, but yeah.
I'd keep him. Sorry, game and real life. I apologise to put it onto you, Farrell, for the deciding vote, but yeah, I think keep him. When we play this again next year, we're all sat here next June. There'll be a 53 by him because he's going to be boss this year.
It's a really hard one. I was such a huge fan of Curtis last season. I think, to be honest, when he was starting and he was regular, it's probably getting into our best midfield, doesn't he? Last year, I mean, I think so. I'm but I do see Rick's argument in a sense of, for the purposes of the game, that's a high enough figure. I mean, if it's not to put him on the same level as Fabio Carvalho, but if we're looking at who might struggle to get a game, if we're looking at fitness and that's a tough one. I'll tell you what, I will. My vote will be, and I wouldn't make this decision in real life, but my vote will be to get rid of him.
We can always undo it once we've figured out, actually there isn't someone suitable. We're sorry, Curtis.
I feel like I've murdered my firstborn child. This is awful.
Just remember, Curtis, if you're watching, who stood by you.
This is awful. Oh my word.
Joe Bellingham, yeah.
Oh no. I mean, it could be great, but not a like for like, is it?
No.
Goodness me. All right. So as things stand, chaps, we've got 16 wage units and £58 million in the bank. But oh my word, there's been some breaking news. I don't want to say it. Some news has emerged.
Szoboszlai broke his leg.
And the news is, oh dear, it's number 5, Rick. It's number 5.
Oh dear.
So
what's the news?
This might break the spreadsheet because that means that all the midfielders are now going back down 5 million. But hey ho, we just got a discount.
Oh my God, breaking news. During tough negotiations, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, acting on our behalf, have reduced several asking prices in half. Who have been reduced in half? Why? None other than Victor Osman has now been reduced to £63 million. Florian Wirtz is down to £54 million. Bruno Guimaraes is down to £50 million. And lastly, Levi Colwill, £33 million. Does that change anything, chaps?
I think what I was saying about Curtis Jones, if there's a player that's better than him for the same price in the market, I think that has just become Wirtz. Because I think that's pretty much same price if I'm right, maybe a little bit. It was a little bit higher than Curtis Jones, but I think that was sort of what I was arguing for before.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, we've just sort of broken the spreadsheet because everything's just gone down. 5 million, and then certain players have gone down half. So now we've got 108 million in the kitty to play with. So we can
we accidentally did the thing. That's not our fault, though, is it? Hate the player, don't hate the do.
No, we'll just blame it all on Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards has given us all a discount. We're not that desperate for a replacement for Ali.
Yeah, what our wages isn't massive, though, is it? So as much as we've got money, we haven't really got wages, have we? So
no,
there is that.
True.
Yeah, we do still have to play around with that. But Steve does make a good point with Florian Wirtz. I mean, for 54 million quid, I would snap your hand off, then snap your other hand off for him. Absolutely. 54 million quid for Florian Wirtz. Unbelievable stuff.
McAllister down as well.
Yeah, well, if you look, this is a good point. What are we thinking, gents?
Yeah, I'd get him like he is boss, isn't he?
So far, we do have Bruno Guimaraes. We've also got a discount on Bruno Guimaraes.
Did we buy Kudus? Did we buy anyone? Who did we buy up front?
We bought Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah. Do we not sack him?
This is some window, isn't it? Bloody hell. Wow.
Let's just give us the job at this point, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd bring in Wirtz myself.
Yeah, I'd get him in.
Yeah.
I don't think we need both of them, though, because we've already got loads of attacking midfielders. I think I'd get... Is Wirtz be part of the forward line? Am I right in saying that, or is he more of like a number 10 attacking mid?
I think he's a bit more of a 10. I'm no expert. Let me just have a quick check myself there.
We are experts, I swear.
Attacking mid left wing, apparently. That's sort of, I guess, historically Curtis Jones's box, really. No, he hasn't really played left wing for us for a while, but I suppose it's similar.
I suppose it depends, really. Do we feel we need the funds to buy an out-and-out number 6?
May as well, because I think we'd have bought midfielder anyway. We've now got McAllister out and Jones gone. I think even
we
with
don't
Demar,
have to sell Jones though, and that's the thing.
What?
We could reverse the Jones decision.
Oh, what? Oh, you all hate him, don't you? So.
But for the record, I was his biggest fan last year. I made that decision with a heavy heart. Right then. So what are we? Are we abandoning the Wirtz project, or are we abandoning the Guimaraes project?
I mean, I think from the two, it would be Wirtz if you were to abandon one of the two, because I think we need that central, anchor type player. So if we were to walk back one, I'd say that and then keep Jones, but I don't feel strongly about it either way because it's not real life. I don't feel the emotions if it was actually Curtis Jones pulling on like an Aston Villa shirt or something. You know what I
mean? So if we did that, we walked back Jones. We gave him a nice floral, food basket and some flowers, and said sorry. More basket chat. Then I mean. That does give us 65 million to play around with and 10 million in salary, which is a fair chunk. Fair chunk. We could get another forward with that. Maybe.
So, at the moment, we've got Guimaraes, Wirtz and Kudus. Or did we sack one of them off? Sorry.
Well, we got rid of Wirtz, didn't we?
So we've got, same again, we've got Guimaraes, Kudus. So we probably need to sign another midfielder, don't we? Yeah.
So we have 65 million quid and 10 salary units to play with.
Which we could do with a defensive midfielder.
Any of them going cheaper?
Well, in terms of the options we can afford, I mean, Manuel Ugarte is 2 million more. Florentino Luis we can afford. Zubimendi's there. Alan Varela we can afford.
Could you worse?
That Edison's all right. Does he play there, Atalanta? Or is he a bit more attacking?
Yeah, he's another one of those sort of he's not an out-and-out number 6, but he's not necessarily an out-and-out sort of number 8 either. He's a bit all action, I think is how he's sort of been described on the sort of Atalanta front. The problem with Edison as well that I find is that the player himself describes himself as more of a forward-minded player. Again, of course, we don't know, if he gets into Slot's hands and he tells him, no, you're a holding midfielder, whether that changes anything for us. But I would be a little hesitant on that basis to go for Edison.
Right, well, I don't know much about the others, to be honest, so I'm happy to go to your expertise as head of stats in the transfer committee.
Head of oh, dearie me. I mean, chaps, have you heard anything about the rep? I mean, Steve, I know you said that you wouldn't mind a bit of Florentino Luis. I think he's going to cost us. Oh, no, we can afford him.
Yeah, he's one of the steeper options there. But yeah, doable, isn't it? Good player, realistic as well. Liverpool have been interested in him before. So, yeah, I mean, unproven though, I suppose, to touch on what Rick said before about a different player, unproven in the Premier League. So there is that aspect. You got Palhinha further down there who could be a shout. Obviously Premier League proven. I don't know what price is though. I didn't quite catch that. If that's the same as
59.
Yeah, 59.
Same price, Premier League proven. You might find yourself going for him instead.
He's a bit older though, isn't he?
Quite a bit actually. Yeah, I think there's about 4 years between them, isn't there?
I get the impression as well, if we do get a holding midfielder, we're not just going to want a ball winner, are we? We're going to. I don't refer to like precisely the Fabinho mold, but we probably do want someone who can also is pretty good on the ball. Can do those sort of those clever like kind of chipped balls that Fabinho used to do in his prime.
Yeah,
just someone who can contribute a bit more reliably to sort of build up. I fear that Palhinha is a bit of a sort of primarily a ball winner and a ball winner mainly.
Bit more of a Mascherano. Florentino Luis is probably a bit more that player. I'm not an expert, but from what I've seen of him, he seems a bit more about that. So that could be, a good option. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd back that.
Yeah,
could do a bit of that.
Yeah.
Which helps solidify us as well, especially with, Alexis and his half a leg.
Sorry, Alexis.
You did that to Alexis, by the way, because we should we should pay them a visit. That's not very nice for us. That
are we talking about
in real life?
Who came up with the idea that should happen?
No. Who went studs in on the shins?
Nunes tracking back Uruguay.
No, I can't get rid of him. We're bringing Osherman instead.
Yeah, so we click on that Florentino.
So
go on, Rick. Have a little click on Florentino Luis. Oof.
Is that wage done?
That's the wage done, and we have £6 million left in the bank. I think, chaps, it's time to bring out the basket.
Yeah, we'll go on a big holiday.
Yeah. We're happy with that. Is that not good?
So far, we've brought in Mohamed Kudus to shore up the right-hand side of the forward line. We've got Bruno Guimaraes, Florentino Luis, who are bolstering the midfield after Alexis McAllister's leg was snapped in half by apparently Darwin Núñez during the Copa America. Absolute nightmare. That lad, I tell you what, you love him, you hate him, you love to hate him. In terms of outgoings, we've decided to get rid of Luis Diaz, Owen Beck, Nat Phillips, Rhys Williams, Calvin Ramsey, Marcelo Pitaluga, Fabio Carvalho. Who do we have left in the basket? So we've got Sepp Vandenberg, Simicaz, and Caoimhin Kelleher.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with all of them.
Yeah, I'm not really gagging to sell any of them, to be honest.
Yes, we got rid of all our defensive cover. Not really
we've not brought in any centre half.
Was there anybody in the ins that really caught the eye?
Just got half Colwell, didn't we?
I mean, yeah, Colwell for 33 million. I'd be tempted. There's your sort of potential long-term Virgil solution, perhaps.
So would it be possible to because you could maybe. I don't even know if it's worth it, really. I don't know whether you'd move mountains to try and get him in, get rid of Simicaz and Kelleher. That might be a bit dramatic.
Yeah. Speaking of dramatic, Darwin's gone and snapped McAllister's leg. Maybe this is the straw that broke the camel's back, and we've had the hump with him.
Yeah, he didn't mean it. They've made peace.
Maybe he did. He's sick of that mate drink.
maybe he's just had enough.
You tried it. It's good.
No, I haven't, but I'd like to. Darwin Núñez would not, though. Apparently, this version of him, anyway.
Well, that's true. I mean, difficult decisions sometimes have to be made. And do we want to get rid of Darwin Núñez because he snapped Alexis McAllister's leg for all that Mate's been shoving down his throat?
Now hear me out. Right? Hear me out. We would have to do quite a lot more, crazy out there selling. But what's his lad? Victor Gyuriok. My butchering of names is.
Him, yeah.
He's been absolutely on fire this season.
His name on the list. I can't. Oh, there
he is on the list. He's £89 million, so that would require quite a lot of fiddling. But he can stick the ball in the back of the net.
Osimhen's above him for 30 mil less.
That's true.
Yeah, that one would jump out to me a bit more.
Question: which Victor do we want?
Both. Just get both.
Yeah. Vic with a C and Vic with a K, straight in the basket.
Yeah, two quality players. I'd argue Osimhen's, I don't know, a bit more star power.
Value for money. Is that right?
Yeah.
But, should we have a little comparison of stats here? So, when we're looking at sort of a Liverpool striker, we want the usual high XG, a lot of touches in the attacking penalty box, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just as a little comparison, Victor Gayoker. I can't remember.
I'll get the pronunciation
of Gayoker.
What is that? It seems like it is Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. Okay.
Yeah. Victor.
Right. All right.
Anyway.
So, worth bearing in mind that our dear Victor, of course, is playing in the Portuguese top flight for Ruben Amorim's Sporting Lisbon. Now, Victor has registered a non-penalty XG per 90 of 0.58, which puts him in the 93rd percentile of players in the men's next 14 competitions, so below the top 5 men's league in Europe. Darwin Núñez, by comparison, has 0.75 per 90, which puts him in the 98th percentile in the men's European top 5 leagues. So Darwin's winning out there already. Now, when it comes out to the big boy stats, the touches in the attacking penalty box, Victor has 8.71 per 90. So he's in the 99th percentile, the men's top 14, after the men's top 5 European competitions. But Darwin Núñez has 8.83 compared to Victor's 8.71, which puts him in the 99th percentile of the men's Big 5 top European leagues. Darwin is the clear winner there based on those two stats alone. They're pretty important stats for your sort of offensive players, but I think it's worth bearing in mind before we send Darwin packing for breaking Paul Macca's leg.
He's so frustrating, Darwin Núñez, though, isn't he? I love him, what a player. But you just think if something just clicks, that's it. He's one of the best in the world. But at the minute, you're like, sometimes you can't hit a barn door. Sometimes. Anyway, that's real life Darwin Núñez.
It's a fair point, though, isn't it? There was that commentary from, was it Michael Owen? And he was talking, it was a chip goal against Brentford, wasn't it? And he was sort of saying that, unbelievable goal, absolutely unbelievable, but it's the stupid decision to make. The best decision you could make in that situation to enhance your goal scoring potential would be to take it round the keeper rather than lob him from that distance. And that kind of, I suppose that makes sense. It's we know he's good, but can he be a bit emotionless, a bit cold when he's in those situations? Or is the emotion always going to rule his heart? Are we eventually going to be forced into a difficult decision? And does that difficult decision, chaps, come this summer window?
Not yet for me, to be honest. But I wouldn't be taking my lowest advice on anything, first of all. And I would keep Darwin Núñez if it was up to me.
Yeah, I don't. The only thing I'm tempted to do there is Osimhen, but again, I wouldn't be getting rid of Núñez, in real life, or to be honest with you, in the game, unless he has purposefully broken, Alexis's knee. That'd be a bit much, but obviously that isn't what happened. So, no.
I'm just looking for a we've sold Van Dijk moment again.
Yeah.
We had it when you tried to
sell with the backwater.
Sanity came back. That was fine. We're not here to entertain people, are we?
No.
It's a realistic window. Want to sign somebody from the Dutch second tier? Never heard of him before, and he's going to come in and be brilliant.
To be fair, though, I did look at the 2023 game, and just to look if Endo was on the list, and he wasn't. That one came out of left field, so
there we are.
But yeah, I'm happy with what we've got. To be honest, I was just sort of pushing buttons to see if we could go crazy, and you've restrained yourselves, so I'm happy.
I can hear the disappointment in your voice, Rick. Were you hoping for a bit more for the explosive transfer activity?
Do you know, I think the chaos is actually just keeping Núñez. I think that is the chaos, to be honest with you. It'd be far too easy to get Osimhen in.
Didn't he lock himself in a room or something, though? He sounds like a bit of a nutter as well, doesn't he, to be fair?
You've got to be brilliant, haven't you?
What's his ability to draw horses like?
I've never checked. Yeah, no. Núñez not bad, though. Half decent.
No, he's all right. You'd be probably looking to buy him, though, wouldn't it, if he was up for grabs again? This summer, if he wasn't playing for Liverpool, you'd think everything about him, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a Liverpool signing there. So I suppose logically we're quite reasonable in this window, I have to say, guys. We're very, very. I don't know what's happened from last year. Perhaps we're all scarred from our decision to sell Virgil, but it's a very sensible showing from us this summer.
Sorry.
There's no more curveballs, are there? No more curveballs?
Oh, I mean, we could theoretically. Should we throw in one more curveball, shall we?
Change things.
Rick, I believe we have. It's breaking news. Number 2 has come up.
A big number 2 on deadline day.
Breaking news. Aurelien Tchouameni demands an exit from Real Madrid, and Liverpool have been offered him for 75 million quid.
I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah, I'm not moved by that massively, to be honest.
Perfect.
You know,
not for a little Aurelian.
No, for a little.
Quality player, but I mean, we've signed 2 centre mids. It's good.
That are now too expensive for our budget because they've had the hoof.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd already signed them. Press back.
Undo.
It's fine. That's it. I never heard number 2.
We were forced to sign.
La, 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 la.
No, Real Madrid, swivel, go sort it out yourself.
Yeah. I'm helping you out.
I never thought I'd live to see the day where we were offered to Shimani and we turned him down.
No, I don't need them. We've got Tyler Morton.
Have you seen what's in our basket? We've got Sepp Vandenberg, Kelleher, Shimakanis,
They're all staying.
and Tyler Morton.
Yeah, no, that curveball wasn't very curved.
No,
So,
Who needs a World Cup winning, World Cup finalist, French international? Who needs one?
nah.
We just won this game.
I think we have. Yeah, we have. We've won this, haven't we? We have officially complete. Yeah, eat your hearts out, Anfield Wrap. We have completed the transfer committee game. We've smashed it. We've been absolutely brilliant. We await our job applications in the post for the Liverpool recruitment team. We are waiting. Excellent stuff. And so to wrap up on our transfer dealings on tonight's transfer committee game on behalf of the Anfield Wrap, we have decided that we are going to sell Fabio Carvalho, Marcelo Pitaluga, Calvin Ramsey, Reece Williams, Nat Phillips, Owen Beck, and Luis Diaz. That's it for the outgoings and for the incomings. I think we're rather happy with this, I have to say. It's going to be Florentino Luis of Benfica, Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle. We've decided against Florian Wirtz and instead gone for Mohamed Kudus of West Ham United. Those are the incomings. Those are the outgoings. What do we think, chaps? How would you rate that window out of 10?
I tell you what, if Luis Diaz pushes for the move to Barcelona and we do that, I'll be quite happy. No problem with that.
Yeah, I think it's all right, really. Yeah. I don't know who that bloke is we've signed sentiment, but I'm putting it all on Steve that he's all right. And then apart from that, I think it's a decent window. We've got rid of a lot of youth players, so I think in 5 years we might be regretting some of the decisions. But other than that, I think we seem quite happy with that.
Yeah, not bad for a little game.
Yeah,
you're being quiet, Rick. You're not sure.
I just really wanted some curveball, really out there.
Sometimes football's the winner. That's all that matters.
Football won today, so
yeah. That's it. It's the legs we broke along the way. By the way, if Alexis McAllister does break his leg at the Copa America, I don't want to hear about it. This didn't happen.
We will immediately.
I can produce photographic evidence if needs be that it was Farrell's idea for that.
Yeah. Whoa, that is a bold accusation. I think this is the perfect time to wrap up this latest episode of the Empire of the Cop podcast before I deny these heinous accusations made by Flashscore's Rick Elliott. We also had the lovely Steve Carson of Flashscore, who has not made any heinous accusations aimed at my person or Alexis McAllister. I reserve the right to blame Darwin Nunez for that potential leg break over the matter of Mate. We have had a lovely Peter Kenny-Jones, the Empire of the Cup, and I have been your host, Farrell Keeling here, enjoying the transfer committee game, the Anfield Wraps transfer committee game. Thanks for joining us tonight. Take care.